Okay, hello again. Here comes my transportation versus energy grid problem. President Obama or Department of Energy people, please listen to me. I do not recall the exact history. I don't recall if it was Roosevelt or Eisenhower that built our interstate system, but when he did, it was also done to provide jobs for Americans after the Great Depression. And that is what got our country out of a depression. Jobs for people willing to work, your hard-working middle class. So President Obama, Department of Energy, officials, Secretary of Energy, whatever you're called, what you people need to do, and this is going to get us off relying on foreign oil, so our poor servicemen don't need to be over there defending the oil fields that are making the House of Saud in Saudi Arabia rich, is President Obama, you need to rebuild our energy grid. Our energy grid has been falling apart. It has not been updated. We rely on natural gas and foreign oil. We drill in the oceans and pollute our food. The BP oil spill is a perfect example of that, and that's one of many. That was just a big major screw up by an English corporation. But it's an inherent risk with drilling oil, or coal is another dirty industry. What we need to do is start harnessing that sun up there. From what I understood, the sun puts enough energy in 1 hour to power the expected energy demand of the earth in 2050 for 1 year. Double population in 1 hour can provide a year's worth of power. Then we could go to wind power. I don't know the exact statistics on that. As far as using our food for ethanol, corn, why do you think the price of food and everything so high? Because the ethanol. My friend Milo kind of touched on this years ago, that he had to change to convert his VW bus to burn ethanol, that everything had to be changed to nylon. But my dad did some research, my father Max, and what he found out is that the ethanol actually eats the rubber gaskets, the rubber and plastic gaskets in your engine. It is shortening the life of our cars, which of course the car industry loves, and a lot of gas is used to make new steel for new cars and etc. etc. So of course the big rich corporations like it, but it actually ain't good for us, and it ain't good for our food supply, because I do know another figure that if we converted every farmland in America to burn corn for ethanol, we could not supply half of our country's basic transportation need. That's another scary fact. So why try to grow something? I mean, President Obama, Secretary of the Energy, there is solar power, there is wind power, there is tidal power, there is geothermal power. We are doing experimentations where algae and E. coli can be used to generate biofuels, which are natural. If you're going to grow crops for fuel, then you better do some research and grow either hemp, which is marijuana, which is illegal in our country for some political reason going back to the 30s, and the Hearst Corporation in the timber industry, and for discrimination against Mexicans. What you got to do is start harnessing all these sources, provide money for higher education so we get more PhDs and beyond that invent these new energy means. In fact, there's a way you can put solar cells in space and like fivefold the power and efficiency of the solar cell, and we have the technology to beam that energy back to a collector with all kinds of safety systems. But the little problem with that people don't realize, that is part of President Reagan's Star Wars system that we obviously don't want. I don't want a weapon so we can vaporize a foreign national or a city. I want energy. I want clean energy, and I don't have no kids. My wife ain't got no kids. And honestly, we probably give a crap more about all your kids than your average American that just drives in his SUV that they don't need, let it idle in a Walmart parking lot for an hour while they're in shopping so it's cool when you come out. People of America, I ask you, President Obama, our Secretary of State, Secretary of Energy, I ask you, please wake up and do what's right for your country, your fellow countrymen, and what's good for the peace and the well-being and the good of all the earth. Peace out, people.